Oh, we're already rolling. Greetings, all you cool cats and kittens. We got this on again. Remember when we did Beat Girl? I think that was clear back in the first season. Well, as many of you know, I always wanted to be a beatnik when I grew up. I just never grew up. Actually, I guess I'm kind of a beatnik. When I'm not on here. Okay. Tonight. Feature 2. Also Roger Corman. And we have A Bucket of Blood. Now, I've seen this poster a million times. Like this big on my phone. I can actually read the cartoons. Well, actually, I can't with these glasses on, so we're gonna have to once again ditch the glasses. But, you know, we'll pretend like it's night. Actually, it is night. So the first guy here, take a look at these. The first one, we got a vampire there that to see a bucket. Oh, he sees the sign that says A Bucket of Blood. Movie? I thought this was a restaurant. And then we got a whole family of monsters, kind of like a comic strip I did in the old days. Are you together? Says the usher. Then we got like a guy sitting on a dinosaur. And apparently somebody complained at the drive-in because he paid his admission just like you. Where'd he go? Right there. Now we're in the theater. All I said was, Bucket of Blood was coming on, lady. Please remove your hat. What a night. 14 people shrieked, 9 people fainted, and one of our ushers is missing. I like it. And finally, okay, let's go get a bite to eat, but nothing with tomato sauce. I agree, but not for the same reason, I don't think. So, this is a great poster as well. I kind of look like a mime in this getup. Okay. So it's Roger Corman night here. Dick Miller. Were there no people on here? I got so busy reading the Dick Miller, Barbara Morris, Anthony Carbone. Okay. You'll be sick from laughing. 1959, American International Pictures. And you'll never guess what I'm drinking. It's a beatnik. Now, I got a little bit carried away last night, so I didn't want to have 100 proof rye again. That was a bit much. Actually, I was drinking this last night, but I didn't want to have 100 proof rye tonight after getting kind of drunk last night. So, let's talk drinks. A beatnik, typically rye whiskey, shot and a half. I don't do equal parts on this one because Verna's a little bit much. Both flavor-wise and cost-wise. So, a shot and a half of whiskey. And in this case, we used... So, I bought... Y'all seen Black Velvet? Y'all had Black Velvet? It's a little rough. Like if it's cold outside, maybe you're out sledding or something, and you need something that's going to like kind of burn, it's the ideal whiskey. Well, this is a Black Velvet Reserve. $13. And honest to God, this is like... I made a fantastic Manhattan with this, and it's great in this beatnik. So a shot and a half of whiskey, a shot of port wine, and about 3/4 of a shot of a Verna Amaro. Yeah, you're going to have to buy that. It's $45. But you can't make this drink without it. And, you know, honestly, this is the only drink that I make with it. I've seen it in maybe maybe 2 or 3 other recipes. And another one where it was paired with port wine. And yeah, that's the way. That's the way. Directed by Roger Corman. I'm getting a little repetitive here. Roger Corman brings us the tale of an overly eager busboy, Walter Paisley. That's Dick Miller. At a beatnik club called the Yellow Door. Maybe a precursor to the Green Door? We'll get to that too. It's in the bucket. Walter soaks in all the beat culture, the poems, the music, the art, but he doesn't really fit in. In fact, you know, the regulars kind of make fun of Walter because he's like trying so hard. Deep down, Walter wants to be a sculptor, but he lacks any real talent. Until one fateful night, that is, when the landlady's cat gets stuck in the wall. Well, it's not a brick wall. It's like sheetrock, and the cat gets stuck in the wall. So Walter grabs a knife, and he's going to cut the sheetrock and get the cat out. Except for he, like, sticks the knife right in the cat. Yeah, I know. Don't get all PETA people on me. It's a movie. To cover his blunder, he covers the cat, knife and all, in clay. The next day at work, he passes the thing off as his sculpture. I mean, it kind of is his sculpture, but, well, people are intrigued. People are intrigued with this cat with a knife stuck in the side of it. One girl so much so that she gives Walter some smack. I'm not going to say it here on YouTube. I'll probably get demonetized. Y'all know what smack is. She doesn't give him a smack on the lips. She gives him some smack. Well, an undercover cop follows him home because he's been watching this lady, right? But Walter clocks him in the head with a frying pan, and voila! We have our next sculpture. Meanwhile, Walter's boss at the club has discovered the cat inside the cat. I don't remember how, but he does. But when he's offered $500 for the cat sculpture, well, here we go again with the ethical dilemma. he keeps his mouth shut and sells that cat for 500 smackaroos. And in 1959, I have a feeling that $500 was more than $500. My pop spent $360 on hi-fi speakers in 1960, just a year after this, which is insane. It was like $3,000. It was like he spent $3,000 on speakers for his hi-fi, and you know what? I'm still using them with my hi-fi. I'll die before they do. Okay. The boss man keeps his mouth shut, but he tells Walter, hey, why don't you stay away for a little while? Why don't you just take a break and, work on your sculptures, maybe put together a show. Just stay away from here. Okay. Walter proceeds to kill and clay, gaining much fame along the way, and yeah, he's back in the club and everybody loves him. But things go awry when he professes his love to his coworker. The cute bus girl that worked with him, or waitress, or whatever she is, cocktail waitress maybe, barista. We say that back then? She is not so smitten. I feel you, Walter. This is the story of my life. You fall in love with a girl clear across the room. And she just doesn't feel the same way. This, of all things, on the night of his big show at the Yellow Door. Okay. This is really more of a spoof than a serious horror film, and it revels in the beat scene of the late 50s, which, yes, past its prime, but Jack Kerouac still writing books by then? But I mean, it had become a thing, like a scene, and much before the hippies. Like Far Out, man, I wrote here. Something more films can do, in my opinion. I would love to see more movies about beatniks. I did see On the Road. Speaking of Jack Kerouac. Not my favorite book, but the movie made me want to read it again. So I read it again, then I watched the movie again, and okay. Now somebody make a movie out of the Dharma Bums. Or the Subterraneans. This is very well done in all aspects. Walter is such a poor, hapless guy that, I mean, you really feel sorry for him, even though he's killing people to make his sculptures. You kind of feel sorry for the guy, like he was like driven to, the desperation, like driven to to do this, because nobody would accept him as is. So I can identify a little bit with Walter and a little bit with the beatniks in the film. Reading their poetry and listening to jazz music, drinking port wine, spinning jazz records. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. This is a fantastic picture. One of Corman's best, I must say. And I give it 5 rings. Yeah, that's right. It's a 5-ring circus tonight on the Late Night Picture Show Feature 2. And I am often asked, since I review so many horror films, I'm often asked what my favorite horror film is. And now you know. My favorite horror film is A Bucket of Blood, even if it's not serious and scary and whatever. Okay, now you know what my favorite horror film is. I don't have a clue what my favorite movie of all time is. Don't ask me. Somebody, the cinema of the 70s, there's a group on Facebook. Cinema of the 70s. What's your favorite movie from the 70s? Fuck, I don't know. Some giallo, I'm sure. Should we see what's in store for next week? Should we see what's in store for next time? We've been on a streak here. I mean, vampire movies, and then I pull freaking Earth versus the Flying Saucer and Day the Earth Stood Still, followed by Little Shop of Horrors. And I mean, we let's see if we can keep the streak alive. What do we got here? What do you think there, Percival?
And why do I sound like I'm in a bloody barrel all the time?
Okay, these are not quite as big a classics as we've just covered, but you know what? We're staying back in the old days. We might be... I don't remember if we're black and white or color. We have Crackin' the World, which I watched at Billy's house when I was like fucking locked out of my own house. And the Monolith Monster. What have I got here? Hair? I was fucking with that purple wig. Remember Sabrina's purple wig from when we were in hiding? Oh, wait. I might have worn it more than she did. The Monolith Monsters. Next week, next time anyway, on the Late Night Picture Show. Now y'all come back now. I promised I wasn't going to get as drunk as last night, but I might have one more of these.